My dad likes to say it's a term like water off a duck's ass, like just let it go.
I love that.
I love it too. And that's just how I feel about everything nowadays. Like, even if you were like, you know, you look like shit today, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm breathing and I survived and I'm here and I'm doing the best I can. So whatever.
Welcome everybody to 30, Flirty, and Surviving. I'm
Kelsie.
I am not Kelsie. I am Tanisha.
I'm Kelsie.
And I'm Tracy.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. This is a show where we talk about what it's like to be 30 and what it was like going through our 20s. And you get to hear us three best friends just chat it out.
Nailed it.
Indeed.
Yes.
That was worse than my screw up with the name. So
Kelsie screwed up our name of the show, but you screwed up your own name. That is like next level, but it's okay. It's all right.
do you just want to beat me? I know you wanted my straight across bangs in second grade, so I get it.
I sure did.
So we may not be the most coordinated bunch, but if you have listened or watched our episodes in the past and you are liking what you're hearing or seeing, you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram at 30 Flirty Surviving Podcast, and you can tune in each week to our new episodes, which come out on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the Tube of the U.
And on that note, summer is finally here, which I think is crazy because 2020 was just a huge blur. But we're excited for it. We're ready for it. And that also means that bikini season is here. So we're going to get into the topic of body image today. And just to be clear, every body is a bikini body. Do you guys agree?
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Every body is a bikini body.
Damn straight.
Let me tell you. But body image is something that has affected us all at one point. So we kind of want to dive into it today and get into how we've been affected by it, you know, the media portrayal of body image, social media, et cetera, et cetera. So let's get into it.
Let's get real and raw, or might I say, naked. Figuratively speaking, of course.
Dad jokes. We'll dive into a bunch of different topics and issues that come around, and you know, the body positivity around body image. And I would love to start with I wouldn't love to start with this, but I would love to know what body issues you guys have had.
What, like, things we're insecure about?
Yeah.
I have a list as long as an encyclopedia. I mean, how much time do you have?
Which is insane, might I add.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, I think two things are important to note before we start getting into the nitty gritty. Number one, we are our own worst critics. So I think it's important to be cognizant of the fact that, like, the things that we notice and things we're insecure about, probably I realize no one else notices. Second thing is, what was the second thing that I had to say?
I love that point.
I know. That, you know, our bodies do a lot for us and we need to appreciate them.
Yeah. Please don't listen to this and think we're ungrateful, but I think it's just something that,
I mean, let's be real. Everybody has issues with their body, so I'm sure people will find this very relatable.
100. Okay, well, just off the cuff, you know? One of the things that I'm low-key so insecure about are my man hands.
Man?
please show that. Will you hold them up?
Bitch,
because
where?
I don't. Yeah.
No, what?
I have really big hands, and it makes me insecure sometimes.
Well, I think that's very unique.
I'm sorry. I was called E.T. fingers.
Oh, phone home, sweetheart.
That's so.
Wait,
I think I have.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's just one. That's just scratching the surface. How deep you want to get this?
I mean, give me a couple, because that's interesting, because I think when people think of body image, they instantly go to weight.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But or like something like on your face or like a nose or a this or a that. Basically, what the media conditions us to think.
Yeah.
It's
so
the
that's
hands.
very interesting. When did that develop for you?
Oh, years. But I don't talk about it because I feel like if I say it, then I draw attention to it. Like, I would like living in the bliss that is hopefully no one's thinking about it. But now I know everyone's looking at my hands right now. So I'm just going to tuck these babies under the table.
I feel like if anything, people are looking at them being like, what the fuck are you talking
Okay.
about?
All right.
No, I'm just trying to hype you up. You got beautiful hands, girl.
Thank you. But yeah, for sure, my weight, I have been like a fluctuator over the years. I feel like I've been heavier. I lost some weight, then I gained some weight, now I lost some weight.
Isn't that your 20s in a nutshell?
Yeah. When you ditch the butt heavies in college, it tends to help.
Yep.
It tends to help just a wee bit.
Yep.
But yeah, I think like definitely just like the normal things, like your arms, your belly, you look at every little thing in your body.
Yep. Yeah. What about you, Tanisha?
Mine's always been my hair. And
Really?
I know it's like a body thing, but growing up especially, because like my hair didn't look like everybody else's.
Yeah.
Good point.
So I always had huge insecurities with that. I mean, my hands too, but I have like freakishly long hands and like you can just see it. They're bigger than my head.
Yep.
So we can just put those down. I think weight probably for me. Weirdly enough, when I was younger, I felt way too skinny. And then as I got older, I feel like my hips grew and some of my friends, they didn't at a certain point. And I was just like, but yeah, then again, just like the normal stuff, like my stomach or I have, you know what? My small ass head.
My small ass head. It's so cute.
He's so little.
I like it. It's cute. I like it.
How about you?
For me, well, we all know that my butt's my butt.
God, don't even get me started.
Luckily, the plumber isn't a butt, guys, because I do not have one, and it's always been a point of insecurity for me. Like I've started at base level, like wall. That was, and it's grown since, and I still don't have an ass. So it's always been something for me. Like somebody in college literally was like, "Oh my God, you would be a 10 if you had an ass." Like, and I'm like,
That
"Sir."
is so rude. Someone in college told me that my ass was concave.
But that kind of like words carry weight, especially when it comes to body image and things that aren't easily changeable, because I don't care if you say I can do 100 squats a day. I've worked really hard at the gym and nothing is happening down there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying.
Do we want to touch upon that a little bit later? Do you want to dive into that right now?
Which one?
Just like the way we say things to people and the way we speak to ourselves.
We could dive into it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is an important thing to remember, to not only speak to others with kindness, but speak to yourself with kindness too when it comes to your body and your image of yourself. I think that, like, for example, a lot of times I know girls do this and we think we're being cute and we think we're being silly and funny and complimentary, but like someone who has, a really skinny or lean body, it's like, oh my God, eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I hate that.
That is so not okay, because you have no idea, like maybe she's trying to put on weight. Maybe she's been working out and trying to get muscle and get leaner, and like maybe that's a trigger for her to say that. So like just watching the way I think we speak to people when we're talking about their bodies, even when we think it's coming from a good place.
Yeah, just as bad as calling somebody fat, in my opinion. And I know you've had some experiences with people like commenting on your diet and whatnot. If you want, I don't know if you want to talk about that.
We can do it.
Sweet Prince, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Granted, he didn't necessarily know, but when we first started dating, like I didn't eat a lot, and he would comment, like sometimes I only have like Doritos the entire day, and he would like comment on it or like make jokes, and finally I was like, you can't say that, because I have high functioning anxiety. So like there are days that I'm proud of myself that I ate those bag of Doritos, and I'm fully aware that, I lost a shit ton of weight after my breakup, but like that's why. And you can't just like make those comments and like laugh it off because you don't know.
100%.
It's not okay. Sweet
Think it
motherfucking
through.
things.
Think it through. And I know that wasn't like a ill intent, but you got to think those things
Yeah.
through before you say them.
Agreed.
Or just shove food down your throat like I do.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, you want some lasagna? There you go.
I know.
Even
it's
if you
so
pick
true.
at it. But yeah, it's interesting. And like I said, I think saying you're not eating enough or whatever. And like I had somebody, it was actually someone's dad approached me when I lost a lot of weight back in the day, who said I was bulimic. Like just went up to me and was like, "You're bulimic." I was like, "Okay, well I'm working out and I'm eating like 10 meals a day. I'm just taking care of my body and I actually like the way I look." So it's like sometimes it feels like you can't win. Like
That's insane.
yeah, sometimes it just feels like you straight up can't win. It's like you're too big or you're too small.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, so maybe like a week ago, I was at the beach with one of my girlfriends and I was putting on suntan lotion and she was like, "Oh my God, I can see your abs right now. Like, you look cute. I'm going to take a picture of you." And then she takes a couple photos of me and she hands them over to me and she's like, "These are really cute. You should post them." And so I'm looking through them and like one, just because of the way I was turned to put my lotion on, I felt like you could see my rib cage. And my initial thought was like, "Oh, I can't post that because people are going to think I look sick because you can see my ribs." Like where back in the day, I'd be like, I would have never even posted a photo of myself in a bikini. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's just like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like when you're feeling like you want to tighten up or you want to be quote unquote like a little smaller, there's so many insecurities about what you will or will not show or post or like put out there. But then the same goes for when you're feeling good too. You have the reverse from people like, "Oh, she must have gotten that little in an unhealthy way."
Yeah.
And people are going to like scrutinize you no matter what.
It's true. It's very, very true.
It's so important and like talking to yourself with kindness, like what you were saying, because I feel like for the longest time I had the worst insecurities, and I don't know, as of like late, I feel like I look in the mirror and I'm not as harsh on myself, because I used to look in the mirror and see like insecure 17-year-old Tanisha every time I looked in the mirror. And I feel like as I get older, my eyes are kinder.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not all the way there. There's still pictures of me that I'm like, "Bleh," but I'm trying to look at myself with kinder eyes.
Yeah, I think that's something that comes with age for sure. Like
It's true.
the older we get, the more we grow to just appreciate. And even if it's not absolutely love 1000% the skin that we're in, but like be grateful for and know that like you feel okay with yourself and that's all that really matters, you know?
Yeah, and I think it comes to a point where it's like mental health over physical at some point, because I used to like beat myself up. I'm like, I didn't go to the gym 6 days this week. I'm slacking and now I feel like anxious about it and whatever. And like I literally will look at myself in the mirror and be like, it's okay. And you can still eat the pasta. You skipped one day. Like it's fine. So it's just interesting.
I agree. I definitely agree. What do you guys like remember when you started to like be aware of your body image or when the issue started?
Yeah.
Kelsey's like, me first.
Well, it was just college. Like I had never had like, I don't know, in high school, I was kind of just like, la-di-da, like, I don't know what's going on. And then, like, you meet this whole new group of people. I feel like in high school, you were friends with, like, the same group. And then you see other girls who are obviously more grown up than, like, your high school, middle school friends or how you remember them. And you're like, oh, my God, you're so pretty. You're so skinny. So I think it was very easy to compare myself to them. And then, of course, like, the people, like literally people saying like, "Oh, you'd be a 10 if you had more of a butt," or like something like that, or like the pressures of I think there's like, for me there was a lot of pressure in college, like to be a certain way. I don't know why. Like I think it was good, like our group of friends went to the gym a ton. I love the gym for my mental health. I think it's great, but it comes to a point where, you know, it's not like your life. You can't make that your life. Make it a lifestyle, like make it a hobby.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Mine, I think it was much, much younger than that. I don't know. I agree with Kelsie. I think that like
Let me tell the story too. When you can. I would love to be the one to tell the story if I can.
I think like it definitely, there's like a period of time when you're end of high school into college where it sort of intensifies. But I remember that sort of, I mean, like going through puberty, I remember that stage of like going from a little girl where I didn't really think about that sort of thing to realizing that people pay attention to your body. Like, I think I was the first girl in 7th grade to ever get boobs. And like, I remember all the guys like made these comments and I didn't think anything of it because it was just like, that was my body and I didn't think anything of it. Like, but they started making comments and then I immediately became self-conscious. Like for years, I would literally cover my boobs. I would never show them. Every shirt I'd be like, hi. Like, because right off the bat, I was like, everyone I feel like was just laser focused into them and it made me uncomfortable. And it just, I don't know. But I feel like I have a weird body dysmorphia complex and I was like always insecure about my belly, everything, until Kelsie decided to.
I love this story.
Which, looking back on it, I feel bad.
You literally had zero remorse.
No, well, I did then because I was a savage. I think we were in middle school or like 7th grade or something, and Tracy only owned tankinis. And we were like going into 8th grade, you know, we're like quote unquote growing up. So I'm like, this bitch is not wearing this anymore. So I hid it in her house somewhere. I can't remember where, but I was like, you're not wearing this, you're wearing this. And I gave her a bikini, which...
No. We were going to the beach in the morning, so I slept over your house the night before. So she knew, like, I packed my one tankini to go to the beach.
You mine.
And she literally hid it in her home that next morning when we were getting ready to
probably
leave.
Down the toilet.
And so I had no other option until she gave me a bikini of hers that she forced me to wear. And I was mortified.
That's a lesson to all of you out there. Do not do that to your friend. It's not nice. Like,
we can laugh about it. In hindsight, it really actually probably wasn't cool.
It wasn't cool.
Graders listening, do not do that.
Don't do that to your friends. Don't be me, because, you know, let everybody wear what they're comfortable in. And even if you think they're skinny, let them wear what they're comfortable in, because it's not the right thing to do. So, Tanisha.
You had a good intent. You thought she looked good, but the intent
she gets a
was
hall
there.
pass.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
My brain wasn't fully developed. Please forgive me.
Gosh. My body image issues definitely started early. I think I became really aware of it because I was super skinny growing up. And I remember one time, it was probably 7th grade. Yeah, it was 7th grade, and I was walking outside after school, and this girl was like, "You skinny fucking bitch, I'm gonna kick your ass, like, you're so skinny." And and then like, it seems stupid, but in that moment, I was like, I am like really skinny. And like, I don't know, it just like got to me.
Fired her up, apparently.
And like, I couldn't shop at the same stores as all of my friends and stuff like that. So that part, I think that's like really, really set in. And then like I mentioned earlier, then I think it was like junior year of high school, when my hips started to come in, and I was just like, there was a picture of me, and I was standing next to like 2 of our other friends, and I was just like, my hips, and I just like, oh God,
They don't lie.
They don't lie. So that definitely. I mean, yeah, so probably then. And then also just not looking like everybody else growing up, because like all of my friends except one were white.
And she came in much later into the picture.
Yeah,
so.
much later into the picture. Yeah, so that was definitely like a complex. It made me super insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's kind of sums that up. But like, did you guys' insecurity like ever stop you from doing anything in the past, or?
Yeah, I used to hate people that would have like pool parties. And
Really?
like going to the beach when I was younger because I didn't want to wear a bathing suit.
That makes me so sad.
It made me less of an outgoing person. Like with my group, because nobody believes me that I was awkward in high school, but I was. I wouldn't.
She was making out with dudes under bleachers. She was not awkward.
She went to 10 proms.
With
Guilty.
older boys.
No, but I just felt like interactions were harder. Like, especially when I went to college, like we would go to like the popular houses. We'd go to like the baseball house, and I was dating a kid on the baseball team at the time, and I like literally felt so anxious interacting with anybody because I was so self-conscious about it. So yeah.
I I mean, definitely socially. I feel like, especially in high school, I used to literally just like sit in the corner. I wouldn't talk to anybody. And it wasn't because like I was a bitch. It was just straight up, I was like, I don't know, you guys were all like talking to boys. And in my mind, I'm like, these boys don't care about me. Like, they don't want to talk to me. Like, I don't look like them. My hair's not like them. I'm not as pretty as them. So I just kind of would like fade into the, oh God, no, I had glasses. And like, I was taller than most of you guys. So like, I was always slouching, which is something I'm working on.
Tanisha has, I will say this with love, she's gone through a glow up for sure.
She's a butterfly.
I mean, everyone had an awkward stage. I feel like my poor girl over here, hers was just a teensy bit longer.
Just like a decade too long.
We were like a couple of years ago, we were all together and we were looking at some old photos and Tanisha was looking through and she was like, dang, like I really was just a little bit like, you know, a little awkward. And then we all went in. We're like, you were, but you were so cute. Like it was so sweet. And she's like, okay. I know I wasn't the creme de la creme in high school. And so now we always still tease her like the creme de la creme. But she has totally blossomed since.
Thanks,
100%.
guys.
Now she's the hottest one in any room she walks in.
Stop. No. Thank you, but no. The glasses and braces didn't help.
No, doesn't really do any
Always
favors
gets
for
ya.
anybody. So I think that, you know, as we've been talking about these things, a lot of it is stemming from being younger, and everyone goes through those periods of times where we're just not comfortable with who we are yet and what we look like. As you get older, the insecurities that you have presently, do you feel like those are coming from that like little girl that's still inside, that voice inside your head? Or do you feel like it's new pressures that are coming into place? Do you feel like you care because of the people around you or just because of your impression of yourself?
Definitely my impression of myself. I still, even though like I said, it's gotten better, but like for the longest time, like I look in the mirror and I don't think I saw what other people saw, because people would be like, you're so pretty, da-da-da. Not to sound like, you know, vain, but like if I did hear that, but like I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, what are they talking about? Because like I still saw glasses and braces, Tanisha, and sometimes I still do, and I have to like.
Well, you're super modest. You're like one of the most modest people I've ever met.
I mean,
So.
Are
you just always thinking of her?
Thinking of old Tanisha? Yeah. Like, remember where you came from.
She's still Jenny from the block.
Stay humble.
Stay humble, always. But yeah, definitely the little girl inside. And like, when you have anxiety too, it literally, what it does is it pushes your anxieties to the forefront. So like, getting a better manage on my anxiety has helped that.
Definitely.
Great point.
How about you guys?
I think that people like to make comparisons. And I was compared to my sister quite a bit with like looks and whatnot. And I recently shared a very like brutal story with you. I don't know if I want to share it here, but it was just basically like harping on my looks, and it was like, oh, well, if she had Danielle's face. Oh, sorry, Danielle. If she had.
I don't know if I want to share it, but hey, Danielle, I'm just throw you on
How you doing, Danielle? How you doing? But like, you know, like, if she had her face, if she had her sister's face, she'd be like so hot and like da-da-da. And it's just like, this brings us back to, you know, words have weight, or like it's comparisons to your family members, comparing yourself to what you see on social media, which is absolutely insane, and like the edits that are made. And I can't imagine, like, you know, if I end up having kids, having a girl, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. So yeah, that plays a huge factor in it, I think. And but now it's different for me. I think that like I'm older and wiser. It really affected me in my 20s a lot. Yeah. Like I thought about that comment all the time that kid said.
From college about your butt?
No, the other kid. So here we go. Here's the list.
Sorry.
No, but it's like
we moved on from that, Tanisha.
My dad likes to say it's a term like water off a duck's ass, like just let it go.
I love that.
I love it too. And that's just how I feel about everything nowadays. Like, even if you were like, you know, you look like shit today, it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Like I'm breathing and I survived and I'm here and I'm doing the best I can. So whatever.
Definitely.
I agree. I think that the comments that are made when we're little establish our initial perceptions of ourselves, and that shit lives with you for years. So I think that some of my insecurities probably are still from that damage. But like I said before, like we're always going to be our own worst critics. We're always going to want to put out our best selves and look our best. So it's doing it to somewhat impress, I think. But also, there are some days where I'm like, screw it, I don't give a shit. I feel good. I look good in my head when I'm looking in the mirror, and I leave the house. But there is that pressure from social media. When you look at other people posting things, you hear about like celebrities and all the crap that they have, and it's hard not to compare yourself to that and think in your head, like, how do I stack up, But I think that it's just something that you have to snap yourself out of, and it's not easy to do, but like Kelsie and I could work out consistently the same amount every single day. We could eat the same amount of food and our bodies would still look completely different. Yep. Like there are, for the average Janes like us, it's genetics. It's, the way that we were built. And then when you're looking at celebrities, it's like, okay, well, what surgeries, what fillers, what Botox,
you can afford a physical trainer.
Yeah, like what they're getting top of, like, state of the art equipment to work out with. Like it's putting yourself at such an unfair advantage when you are constantly trying to see the difference between yourself and anybody else, for that matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like filters, man, on. Oh my God. Because you look at these girls and like they have this like perfect, glowy, dewy skin with nothing, like just no blemishes.
My raggedy 30-year-old skin is falling apart. White crumbles. Black don't crack and white crumbles.
Tracy's like, where is she going with this?
I did not see that one coming. I was like,
I've always said that crumbles? To Tanisha. No, like just the skin.
Yeah, I'm following now. Just a little
Which actually, if like that actually was a huge insecurity of mine. By the way, like my skin, like I always had like lines.
White. I was like, oh.
Can I not be white anymore? No. No, but yeah, skin, and especially in like your 30s and stuff, I think that goes hand in hand with body image. It's such a huge point. Like you see everything changing in your 30s. There's a lot of changes that happen in your 30s, like physically, on your face, like weight, you can't keep it off as easily as you used to. Yeah. So sometimes you have to work a little harder, buy more lotion.
Yeah. Some more cocoa butter.
Get that cocoa butter, bitch.
I'm dead. Hurley, speaking of things not being the same as they used to, I want to bring to the class our producer. Hurley, please join us. I need to talk to you about something. Everyone, for those watching and those listening, I'd like to introduce you Hurley. He is our producer. He is 9 out of 10 times fabulous.
What's up, everybody?
We love him, but we're mad at him. So I, this weekend, decided to go visit him. He was DJing at Scorpion Bar at Patriots Place. And I was the only 1/3 of this little trio right here who decided to be gracious enough to go visit him and support him. And I requested while we were there.
And Tracy threw us there.
I requested that.
I think I'm joining you guys pretty soon.
I went up to him and I was like, hey, like, can I get some 90s throwbacks jams? Like, can I put a little request in? And what did you say to me?
To be honest, I don't remember.
He said, Tracy, your 30 is showing.
Oh, Hurley.
I was sticking to the brand.
No, you apologize.
I was sticking to the brand.
How dare you?
That is on brand.
To defend yourself.
Everyone
You have
wishes
to represent the show in ordinary life. I was helping you represent the brand of the show that is literally titled 30, Flirty, Surviving.
No, I'm mad. Anyway.
He's talking from a marketing perspective.
Okay, you're dismissed.
Okay.
I just feel like it wasn't really that positive the way he worded it, but anyway, back to our regular scheduled program here. Okay, so Kels, do you have a question for me?
because we're taking turns. How have you guys gotten ahead of things to kind of enable a more positive outlook on your body image?
Take breaks from social media. Take breaks. I have literally deactivated my account for some periods of times, or I just delete it off of my phone, or make a commitment to myself to not use the app. I think when you're feeling really low, and this can be about body image, it could be lonely for not being in a relationship. It could be not feeling like you're at where you want to be with your career. It could be so many different things.
Yeah.
But just when you feel that subconscious comparison kicking in, and you're looking and scrolling on your feed, and you feel oh, I want what they have, that's when I know I need to reset a little bit. And so that's more, I think, a tangible thing that you can do just to help you in those moments. But also, I have apps that I use. We've talked about this before, where I have daily affirmations. And so every morning when I get my affirmation, I look in the mirror and I say it 3 times. And it makes me feel good about myself.
We should share that app on our Instagram story for people.
I absolutely will. It's so great. And they're all different too. Some of them are about your body. Some of them are about your career and money. All of them are different. So it kind of fits into any little sector that you may be feeling a little low in. You get a nice variety. But every morning at 9:30 a.m. I get a notification, and then I'll take a break and I just repeat my daily affirmation out loud, and I feel like it truly helps just boost my mood and my confidence a little bit.
Take that little bit of time to take yourself out of the craziness of life.
Yeah.
And give yourself that. What about you, Tanisha?
I have the same thing. I have mine that it stays on my home screen and then changes throughout the day, so I can open it and read little things that are just good. I think affirmations are so good. I look in the mirror sometimes when I'm having a bad day, or sometimes I'm getting ready and I just oh, you don't look good. I'm stop it, Tanisha. You are that bitch.
Yeah.
Do not forget this.
Yeah.
And it sounds stupid when you're saying it to yourself in the mirror, but it's really important. And I know it's super corny, but sometimes you have to look in the mirror, and I've done it before, and literally as if you're talking to yourself, be I love you.
Yeah. Give yourself a little kiss.
And it's a little smooch,
Kelsey's just tongue is flapping out.
The mirror is soaking wet.
It's just a smudge stain.
Best kisser I've ever met, okay? Best kisser I've ever met. With myself. But no, that's really sweet. That's sweet, and I think that's a really good point.
It's important, would you speak to your friend the way you speak to yourself? You would have no friends.
Yep.
It's so true.
So why would my sister think that she could call me right now? I'm busy. But why? So why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
why would
it's
you
true.
put yourself through that? Because if you wouldn't want to be, never mind. I didn't have anything else to say.
No, I think a little deeper than that, because I think as you get older and you move into your 30s, you see the important people in your life starting to age as well. I still have a grandmother. I also have a 103-year-old aunt. I'm okay, get it, girl.
Damn, took everlasting.
But they're at the end of their lives, and it makes you think. It's it literally hits a reset button for me. It's why am I worrying about this thing when one day we are going to be there? It's obviously a little deeper, but
I feel like she always takes it to death.
I always take, yeah.
Remember when I asked the other question about love for a short period of time, and she was well, you're going to die eventually. Kelsey's so morbid.
Talking about the plumber.
It's
she's
not
I told
morbid.
him he needs to die first.
It's not morbid. To me, it's realistic, because I'll get real morbid right now. We're all going to be 6 feet under one day. It's just not worth thinking that deep into that stuff. That it's surface level.
Yeah,
it's all so surface level that there's so much more that I appreciate about you guys. You guys you're stunning, but I appreciate your depth versus your body image.
I agree with that, and it's also good to remember, because especially, I don't know, I'll say I'm getting old, and my mom's excuse me? And it's just a reminder. Older people would look at a 30-year-old and be I would kill to be 30. Shut up. So it's just remembering that stuff is
Don't
super important.
exactly. You have to like live in it now because we're gonna get to their point. We're gonna be like, oh, did I spend all my time complaining about my image and worrying about this small stuff?
It's so true. It is true because eventually looks go away, and that's like if you suck as a person,
nobody's gonna like you then.
what you got then?
Yeah. I had another quote because it's been a while since we did an inspirational quote.
Live, laugh, love. Just kidding.
But something to think about. It's just something to fall asleep to.
Her voice gets super low. Sorry.
I saw this quote one time and I don't know who said it, but it was like, if the whole world was blind, who would you impress?
Yes.
Which I think is super freaking deep.
It's
but like
so deep.
it just goes to, it's just like a good perspective that I think that your looks are not the most important thing about you.
I agree. And I think that comes with age. As you get older, you realize that much more.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I completely agree.
So if we wanted to like wrap up the conversation with a positive note, I would like to go around and ask everybody, what is your favorite part about yourselves?
Oh, wow. I will go last.
That's literally not the attitude for this episode. It's the opposite stance of what we're trying to implement here.
I don't think you get what we're doing, Tanisha.
She didn't get the memo.
Why don't you go first then?
Okay, well, thank you so much for asking. My favorite physical feature about myself is my smile.
Oh.
I love to smile. I like to make people smile. And I've been told a time or two my smile is pretty infectious. So I'm going to take that and run with it.
You do have an infectious smile. You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you. Yeah. So my smile's my fave. Smiling's my favorite.
I wish everyone could see her eyes.
What's your favorite color? I know. I make sure when I make crazy eyes, I don't look directly into the camera, just into your eyes.
Oh my God.
I think I'm on one today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't get my hair to
Too much coffee.
I love the energy today.
Thank you.
Me too.
Anyone else have anything they'd like
Tanisha?
to?
I already told you. I'm going last.
God.
Well, I'll keep mine PG because I've already shared my favorite body features with you guys. Yeah. So if I keep
imaginations.
this is honestly hard for me. I don't know. I really like my hair when it's long.
You have great hair.
You do.
I would kill a small rabbit for your hair.
When it's like long and
I don't know why. I don't have anything
so
against rabbits. I just didn't want to kill a human, so I went with an animal.
I like
but I
it
would
when
kill something for your hair for sure. It's so nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I like it when it's long and beachy and I don't have to do anything to it. So I guess that's it.
Yeah. Even though they're only brown, I do like my eyes. I
They're
like the
beautiful.
shape. I like
And your
the shape.
lashes are on flake.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when she was
Package.
considering fake lashes? Like you don't need them at all.
Thank you.
They're great.
But again,
Right. But if you want them, I
if
support
she
you.
wants them and it helps her feel better about herself, then we should encourage her to not eat a microphone, but to pursue that.
Even if you want the eyelashes that like you can't see the girl's eyes anymore, I support you.
What would you guys do? I just
I'd be
like the
"Go,
convenience
girl."
of not putting mascara on every day. That's really the only reason.
Well, I will support you.
Well, I think you guys are all beautiful.
You too.
Me too.
All
Very
of y'all.
beautiful
On the
friends.
inside
All of y'all.
and on the out. And all of you guys at home.
And all of our viewers.
You're all beautiful. You too, Pearl. Hurley, I mean.
Any final thoughts on body image? We are gonna I keep saying down the road, there's so many teasers. But there's gonna be a part 2 of this to come for you guys where we're gonna get some expert opinions on the matter. But I think that's a good
I think so too. I think
surface level.
the main message for me is just be kind to yourself and be easy on yourself because you're only one person. You can only do so much like when it comes to body image or anything.
Preach.
So just be nice to yourself.
Agreed. I have a funny story, which we can absolutely take out. But I told you.
Just get the. He was like, "Fuck, they were under 40 minutes for once."
I know.
So
I'll
you
be
thought.
quick. Sweet Prince. I told you, I didn't tell you, Kels. So I was talking about carrying me when I hurt my knee. And he's like, he goes, I can give you a piggyback ride. I was like, what? You can't hold me like in the front? He's like, not for like a super long distance. And I was just like, what? Like, what if I was hurt? And he goes, well, I mean, I'm sure I'd like develop superhuman strength. Like when a mother has to pull a car off of a baby. I go, did you just compare me to a motor vehicle?
He is canceled.
I was like, what?
We don't let negative Nancy's like that in this circle.
No.
For those not
don't.
watching, my mouth was just to the floor because I love him, but he
just like says shit that I'm just like, you have to think before you speak.
Because that could affect your opinion of yourself. Like you're like, it could make someone spiral.
It really could.
It could.
Agreed.
That's like, you know.
And it depends on the day too. Like if you were just having a terrible day, like sometimes it can be water off a duck's ass, and sometimes it's like I have had the worst day ever. That's like the cherry on top of the shit of the day.
Yeah.
Why
Like
are you
so I'm
doing
a
that?
car.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm a sedan. Great. Is that sedan? Not sedan.
I laughed. I saw nothing wrong with it. I didn't.
I just combined SUV and sedan.
She did it again.
Oh man. All right. Sorry.
Okay, so stay tuned for more on this. Great beginning. Kels, our closing segment. Do you want to?
Sure. Yeah. So we are going to end the segment with Dear TFS.
If you fuck it up one more time,
we're going to end the segment. We're doing a segment right now, are we not?
we're ending an episode
With the segment.
with a segment.
Eat shit.
Fair point, well made.
Anyways.
Cool.
So, like we've told you guys, we're ending each episode with a Dear TFS segment where
Like
you
she
guys,
told you.
you guys can write in your issues, your questions for us, and we will help you kind of navigate through them. So this one says, I listened to your last podcast and I'm so excited you have Dear TFS. I'm having a hard time at work because a colleague that clearly doesn't like me, and I suffer at work from it. I don't get invited out with the team. I am constantly scrutinized and just feel like all the work I do is all for naught. Because of this, I feel I am not given high-level work when I know I'm capable. How should I address it with this colleague, or should I address it with her at all?
I'm going to like speak in a hypothetical because I'm not exactly sure. Like you're saying colleague, but then you're saying you're not given high level work. So I don't know if this person is a superior to you. Because I do think that makes a difference. Like
That's true.
how I would approach the situation. If this person was a peer versus if this person was a direct supervisor. First and foremost, my typical stance would be you just keep performing to the best of your ability and pay no mind to anyone who is going to be negative or exclusive in the work setting.
Yep.
I do hope that with these group outings, there is someone maybe else on the team that you could like speak to that would maybe be able to like vouch or advocate for you. And if that person who you're not getting along with isn't being the kindest or reaching out, they could maybe say, hey, well, like, what about Tracy? Like, can we bring her along? Maybe like having a conversation with them. I feel like if you really think it's impacting your day to day, it's worth pulling this person aside and just being real and honest and not being, accusatory, but just say, hey, I might feel this in my head, or I might just be thinking this, but I've been getting the impression that maybe there's some tension between us, or you're not my biggest fan, and I want to make sure like maybe we can come to some sort of understanding, or maybe I'm wrong, but I would pull them aside if you feel like it's like unbearable.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was
you
just
go.
going to say workplace bullying is totally a thing. And
Oh my God,
I mean, I think it's something that we've all seen, and it can really affect your performance because you're like, what am I doing wrong? I don't even know what I'm doing wrong because you're not addressing it. And that's what it seems like here.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were you going to say?
Oh
Tanisha?
no, I would say something. Just pull her aside. I think that's when you got to put in. You're like, your boss pants, like boss ass bitch, whoever you are, if you're a guy, well, you can still be a boss ass bitch, but I would put them on and just, it'd probably be uncomfortable. Like for me, I'd probably be sweating for the first, like building up to actually like addressing them. But I would say something, just be like, I saw that everyone went out. Is there a reason like I wasn't invited?
Yep.
And then let them lead the conversation and then take it from there, because see what they say. I don't know.
Well, yeah. And when you're in this position, I mean, this person sounds young to me, but I could be totally wrong. But I think that people don't expect you when you're in this position to speak out. And when you do, they're like, oh shit. Oh, I have to address this now. And you kind of make them address it, and it's going to go one way or the other, and you'll resolve it either way.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And if you do feel like, if this person is maybe not like your boss, but just slightly more senior or tenured than you, and you feel like it's affecting the responsibilities that you're delegated, 100%, without question, bypass this person and go to your supervisor and talk to them about it. Because if anything is coming in between your work, your name, your paycheck, boo, you gotta fix that.
Agreed. Totally agree with
And
that.
I think
no bully is gonna get in the middle of that.
No, don't
and I
fuck
think
up my bag.
I think that's a great note to end the episode on too. I love that.
I'd say we just secured the bag.
I love you so much.
Another episode down. So thank you, ladies and germs, for hanging out with us another week. Like I said, new episode drops on Wednesday mornings. You can catch it on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and follow us for all our updates on Instagram at 30 Flirty Surviving Podcast.
Love ya.
Love you guys. Bye.